Jesus is calling out three basic problems in the religious leaders and by default the religious culture of his day. First, they place the burden of unrealistic expectations on people. Unlike Jesus, whose yoke was, quote, easy and his burden light, they add to the already kind of crushing weight of life a whole other burden of legalism that even they cannot live up to. Two, they focus on appearance more than substance. They make themselves not only look good, but here's the kicker, make themselves look better than they actually are. But it's a religious kind of show. It's just virtue signaling on Instagram or whatever. There's no real life behind it. It's just a hashtag. It's just a post. It's just a statement. It's just a performance. It's not real. It's for their ego, not for love. And three, they desire status over service. They want to climb the social ladder up and to the right, not follow the way of the cross, what some have called the spirituality of descent. The word used by Jesus in the rest of the chapter, we don't have time to work through the entire thing. I encourage you to read it on your own time. But the word used over and over and over again by Jesus, in example after example, all through chapter 23, to summarize these three dynamics is the word hypocrisy. Now, it would be really easy to make these three basic problems about them and not about us. Or even, there's a lot of chatter about hypocrisy in the church right now, about leaders and not about followers, about religious kind of pastor type of people and not religious culture in a whole. But let's be honest here. First off, that's not even helpful. Do any of you struggle with these three dynamics at all? Unrealistic expectations. Do you ever place unrealistic expectations on other people that even you struggle to live up to? Any of you? If the answer is no, you're not self-aware. Just join a community and they will help you become that way, right? In spiritual life or in any part of life, whether that's expecting people to always be there for you when you're not always there for them, or expecting them to check in for you when you don't check in for them, or expecting them to love you on your own terms with no respect for their personality or preferences, or expecting other people to never bail when you bail, or here's a very common dynamic. We expect other people to show us mercy when we're quick to show other people judgment, right? It's a two-way street. In the wider culture wars, one of the turnoffs of progressivism right now is the so-called cancel culture phenomenon, which is a symptom that is kind of a blend of utopianism, of widely unrealistic expectations for people, their behavior, their speech, their purity. I am all for accountability and high moral standards. I'm a pastor from the way of Jesus, so I'm not entirely against it. But in secular culture, there is no laid out path to become a good person. And when you trip up on the non-existent path, there is no mercy, there is no atonement, there's no forgiveness of sins. It is dog eat dog. Now, my point here isn't to cancel culture. It's just to point out this dynamic is alive and well today in all of us. Secondly, appearance more than substance. Any of you want to look better than you actually are? I sure do. You think this is a mess? You should actually know what I'm actually like behind the scenes, right? We don't wear phylacteries or tassels, but we love our likes on Instagram and we perfect our selfies, or we love, if we're a little more sophisticated, we love the letters after our name, or if we're professional, the title from our job or career, or if we're just like more of a hangout person, to one-up each other in cocktail party conversation. From phylacteries then to virtue signaling now, most of us, myself included, want to look not only good, but better than we actually are. 3, status over service. For us, it's not the seating arrangement or the title rabbi. I don't know what it is for you. It depends a lot on your socioeconomic background. Maybe it's the college you went to, or whether or not you went to grad school, or how much money you make, or what neighborhood you live in, or how many followers you have on social media. In a recent survey, this was surprising and not surprising at all, but in a recent survey of Gen Z, the number one aspiration for an entire generation of Americans was to become an influencer, i.e. to become famous. Literally, that's the number one thing in the survey. And the cult of celebrity has infected the church like a disease. And it's not just pastors who are behind it. Have a look at this from Laura Barringer and Scott McKnight in their book, A Church Called Tove. Celebrities don't form on their own. Behind every celebrity pastor is an adoring congregation that both loves and supports the celebrity atmosphere. The development of a celebrity culture also doesn't happen overnight. It begins when a pastor has a driving ambition for fame, but it can't take root unless the congregation supports that ambition. Unfortunately, many people want their pastor to be a spiritual hero or a celebrity at some level. They not only want it, but they often expect it and find themselves believing it about their pastor. Now, there's a difference between a celebrity and celebrityism. One is about others' projection. The other is about self-promotion. I think of someone like Tim Keller, who is a household name in the Western church. And if you don't know, now you know. You're welcome. And he is I thank God for him. He is a gift to the church. Is he a celebrity? No, not really at all. But similar to Jesus, he is a well-known gift to the church at large. Still, though few of us ever become famous, at least at that level, the desire for fame or whatever version of status is your preference is all over. And behind it is a deficit of love. Behind most celebrities is a deep father wound or mother wound. Just read a memoir once in a while. As Aristotle put it so many centuries ago, when people don't feel loved, they seek to be admired. My point is, unrealistic expectations, appearance over substance, status over service, those three dynamics, summarized by the word hypocrisy, are not just a problem for them, but for us, and I'm guessing for all of us. Do you struggle with this at all? Do any of you not struggle with this? But over against the way of the Pharisees is the way of Jesus.